Alright guys, so today I'm going to be going over catching, and for whatever reason, a lot of people just don't work on catching in the same way that they work on throwing. When people work on throwing, they work on the technique and break it down into lots of steps and build their form incrementally until they're able to do it. But for catching, a lot of people will just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. They just keep doing stuff like this. And that's not necessarily bad, but what ends up happening is their technique never gets better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the foundation for catching, and then hopefully with that you'll be able to see where in the catching process you're making mistakes, and then by working on that part, hopefully you can become more consistent. So yeah, let's start. Okay, so when I teach catching, I like to break the catching process down into 3 different phases or steps. So phase 1 is your reading or tracking skill. This is when you have to locate the disc or ball in the air, and you need to be able to run to where it's going to land. If you don't do this properly, no matter how good the rest of the process is, you're never going to catch it because you just aren't in position to catch the disc. So the first step is running to the object. The second step is your grip technique and hand-eye coordination. So in this step, you're trying to get the object to hit the strongest part of your hand, which in pretty much every case is going to be your fingertips. So in this phase, you're getting to the disc, and then you're making the disc or ball hit the strongest part of your hand. And then the third phase is being able to give with it and having the grip strength to hold it. So even if it hits the best spot of your hand, if you're not strong enough to hold it, then you're still gonna drop it. So all 3 of these things need to be good in order for you to catch it. Okay, so I want to go over the skills in each step in a little more detail. So the first group is pretty self-explanatory. You just have to get to the disc. The way that I practice this is I do reading drills where I'll throw the disc to myself and put an angle on it, and that makes it really hard, so it's not just going straight. And you really have to read where the disc is going to be able to catch it. So that's what I do to work on this. There's lots of other things you can do too, but that's just what I like to do. The second phase is, I feel like the phase where most people have the biggest problem, is that this technique isn't as efficient as it needs to be. So what you're looking for here is a very clean stop. If there's any bobble at all, it means that there's a problem with the grip and that you're not closing all of the space. So what I see from a lot of people is they're really close. They'll do something like this. And it's really hard to see. It doesn't look like I had any issues there, but here's what a clean stop looks like. See how there's no movement at all? That's what you're going for. You don't want any movement at all. That's what shows that you have a clean and strong grip. And this concept applies to anything that involves a grip. Whether it's a forehand grip or a backhand grip, any grip concept that you have, you always want to be closing as much space as possible. There should be no room that's causing things to slip or bobble. So when you're practicing this, what you want to be aiming for, you want to be aiming for this part of your hand, because this part of your hand is the strongest part of your hand. So here I'll do a demonstration for you. So I can pull as hard as I can here, and it's not moving. But if I catch the disc here, look how easy that is. It's so easy for the disc to slip out. So what you're doing is you want the disc to be being caught in the fingertips and having all of that space be closed immediately. That's what good technique looks like. For the step 3, what you want to be doing is you don't want the disc to just stop like this. You want to come down with the disc to soften the impact. and that's what we call giving. Looks like this. Okay, and by doing this, it greatly reduces the impact on one specific point, and it makes it way easier to hold. And this is the key to catching higher velocity throws. So another problem a lot of people have is they're really consistent for like throws for 30 miles per hour and under, but once it gets above 40, they'll start dropping. And what this is showing you is that you have okay technique, but your technique still needs improvement. What's happening is you're not able to get enough of the energy distributed outwards, so it's overpowering your grip. So what you need to do is you need to develop a better giving skill, and also you want to make sure that you're having the best grip possible, because this is what's going to allow you to hang on to the disc. Okay, so next I'm going to cover some grip concepts. This is really important, and a big reason why a lot of people have inconsistencies with their catching is because they're not using the best grip for how the disc is being thrown. So anytime that you can catch with two hands, you want to do it, because it's the most secure way to catch, because you create 3 points of contact. When you catch like this, you have contact on your wrist, you have your left hand, and your right hand. You can also catch it in your fingertips like this. However, I feel like this way is a little more secure. However, it does rub your wrist, which can be kind of annoying. I used to have a really bad problem of having my wrist bruised up for this exact reason. So if you find this annoying, you can just always use the finger grip style, which is perfectly fine. I use both methods, and they're both really great catches. So let's say, okay, the disc is too far to catch it with two hands. It's really, really important that you are using a strong grip when you try to catch one-handed, because this is the biggest, helpful thing that makes you catch the disc. Your grip is so much stronger this way than it is this way, and I'll show you just a test with 20 throws, and you'll see a pretty major difference just in 20 throws. Perfect. Okay, so now we know that whenever we can catch with two hands, we want to do it. Anytime we're catching with one hand, we want to have the palm up if that's possible, and if it's above our head, we're catching like this. But for a lot of people, that still isn't enough, so I'm going to show you the different zones of just like what I recommend. So the first zone is what I call the strike zone. It's from the letters of your chest to the tops of your knees, same as in baseball. So anything here, 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 always two hands, pretty much no exception. Okay, then the next zone goes a little bit farther than that. So it goes here, 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 and these are extended reaches. You can still get it two hands, but for some people it could be a little hard. So it looks like this. Okay, and then your third zone is gonna be one hand, and this is too far for a two-hand reach. It's about here, here, all right, and then the fourth zone will be a layout. It's too far to get it static. So those are the 4 zones. I hope that's helpful, and yeah, we'll move on to the next concept. So another good catch is on a low throw. You can catch it on the sides, and this is a really secure way to catch the disc. You can make the case that catching it like this on a low throw is actually easier than catching it like this and having to bring it up into your body. So I'll show you what both of those look like. So this is a normal two-hander, and this is a two-hander on the side. Okay, so I want to talk about this catch for a second. I definitely do not support this catch or teach this catch. I'll tell you why, and then it will be up to you whether you want to use it or not. So I have a lot of reasons of why I don't like this catch. The first is that it's really confusing on what catch you should use at this height. So really the only time where you would ever need to use this catch is like right at your eyes. And at my eye level, I can still catch with the normal two-hand style. And this style is so much more secure than catching like this. So I would much rather just go like this than try to do this. So for me, it just creates an extra catch that I have to practice, and it's not really giving me any benefit. If anything, it's making everything more confusing because I don't know if I should go like this, or like this. And like, I'm already confused. I have no idea what I should be doing, and that's really the last thing you want to be thinking about. The second reason why is just it's really hard to give when you catch like this. And it's really scary because it's going straight into your face. Like, I don't want to do that. I would much rather come over here and protect my face. So those are just some of the reasons why I don't like this catch, but there are a lot of people that use it, but I definitely don't recommend it. I much prefer to catch a high two-hand catch. For me, anything that's going at this level, I'm gonna catch a high two-hand catch. And you'll notice that when I do this, I'm getting my top hand angled down, and what this is doing is it's flattening the disc out so that it falls flat. Okay, so if I don't get this flat and it comes at angle, then it's probably gonna drop. It looks like this. Okay, so when you do this, you need the center of the disc to be hitting the center of your hand. And this is also true when you catch upside down. It's exactly the same concept. Okay, so I'm gonna teach how to catch angle throws and upside down throws, and that's probably going to be it for this video. Okay, so for angle throws, it can be kind of, I don't know, hard to know which hand to catch the disc with on top. For me, I always catch every throw with my right hand on top and my left hand on bottom, and this makes catching angle throws just a lot easier because my technique is really consistent throughout every throw. So if it's flat, right hand on top, left hand on bottom. If it's going this way, right hand on top, left hand on bottom. If it's going this way, right hand on top, left hand on bottom. So this is something that I find really helpful, but there are definitely a lot of people that they would rather catch it like this. But whatever technique that you use, you need to just be consistent with it, because that's really one of the biggest challenges with angle throws, is just figuring out what hand placement you prefer. So, alright, I'm gonna assume that you have a hand placement that you like. So the next thing to do is to figure out where on the disc do you need to catch it. So for an angle throw, you want the disc to be hitting right here. Alright, I'm gonna show you. This is where the best seal is and where you're gonna have the most control. If you catch the disc like up here, it's going to be really difficult. Like, you can already see, like, it's already slipping. So here's what it looks like. Alright, and what you're looking for is that the disc is coming to a stop really fast, and that shows that you have a lot of control. If it's bobbling or there's not a great seal, that means that you didn't have the best stop in the world, and that at a higher velocity you could have potentially dropped it. So what you're looking for is that you can consistently catch it in this spot of your hand a lot. So you just want to keep practicing and getting nice, clean stops, and that's just, you want to keep working on this until you become consistent. For upside down throws, it's very, very important that you push the disc down flat. If you push the disc down at an angle, it's going to fall out to the side. I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, it looks like that, and it doesn't work. So what you need to do instead is you need to push straight down and get the disc to land flat. So if it's angled, same thing. I have to get the disc. You want the middle of the disc to be hitting your hand. That's how you catch upside down. Okay? If you don't get it flat and you hit the sides, it's gonna turn over and you're gonna drop it. And that's really the key to catching upside down. And that's it. So yeah, I hope you liked this video. Give me a thumbs up, comment if this helped, and yeah, I'll see you next time.